Well, joining me on that debate tonight, does Kanimozhi deserve extra sympathy because she's a woman? Should the gender factor even play out in issues like this? Joining me tonight in the studio with me is Renuka Chaudhary, former Minister for Women and Child Development. Also with me, Sadia Dhelvi, well-known writer in Delhi. Mr. KTS Tulsi, Supreme Court advocate. And I'm also joined by Madhu Kishwar, again, outspoken women's rights activist and editor of Manushi. Renuka Chaudhary, as a Congress politician and as a woman, does that influence your view? As a Congress politician, do you have a different view on Kanimozhi? And as a woman, do you have a different view on Kanimozhi and whether gender should be an issue?
No, I think the Congress pretty much goes with the dominating gender issues, and we've always steered that vehicle into that path of rightful recognition. So it's not that I have a different view, but I would say that we're at a very nascent stage of dealing with women in such situations.
In economic crimes, I mean.
Economic crimes. So this is, you know, we are not familiar with these. So we don't really know how to react and don't really know how to verbalize or articulate it to say what we feel. There is a distinct sense of uneasiness because you have the stereotypical vision of what we expect of women. And you are breaking the stereotype by getting into this crime scene. So, and it's also a fear thing that you say, my God, that could be me. I can be in that position. And that shakes you a bit.
Though, of course, I mean, there was, we know that Sonia Gandhi, well, pardoned Nalini in a way, at that time, to the ground being that she's a mother, even though she's involved in the assassination of her husband. But many have reacted more disquiet over this remark about Kanimozhi because they feel it is an economic crime. No such leniency was given to someone like Jayalalitha when she was thrown into jail when the DMK regime was there. When someone is charged of corruption, should gender be an issue at all?
No, no, not at all. We've never said, the law doesn't recognize it as a male or a female prerogative to be in that situation. That's not the issue. The issue
but that's a message that went to DMK Chief Karunanidhi yesterday.
No, there is a general concern. I think every person, every citizen in the country sits up and says, oh my God, can this happen? So even she can go to jail. You know, that's the kind of perception that has come about. But and that's the uneasiness you have because we're not used to it in the middle class and in the upper middle class and the educated, and we're not used to this.
KTS Tulsi, what's your view on this? Should women be given separate treatment? That's the argument that Kanimozhi's lawyer made.
What do you mean by treatment?
Should she have been given bail because she's a woman? That's the argument Ram Jethmalani made in court, that she should be given bail because she's a woman.
It's not only what Ram Jethmalani is saying. The law itself considers women to be more vulnerable.
Why
and therefore, because if she goes to the police station, if she is taken to the police station and is confined in the police station, more often than not, the policemen themselves would rape her. And that's a harsh reality. In the jail, again...
Kanimozhi, of course, I mean, some have said, I mean, the point is the kind of family she comes from, those dangers will not be there with her.
Now, your question is with regard to the law of bail. The law of bail recognizes that a woman is more vulnerable. And therefore, there's a direction, there's a general direction that she should not be confined in the police station. She should not be summoned to the police station after dark. And with regard to bail, again, even in the prisons, she is vulnerable. Our prisons perhaps may not be safe. And in this chauvinistic society, women can be exploited.
So you're looking at it
I'm very glad that Mr. Tulsi has brought this up because I definitely believe that bail interpretations should be liberal for women prisoners. And
why?
They should,
why do you feel that?
Well, I think some concessions should be given, especially to people who have children. And, you know, the jails are, and I'm glad this is, you know, coming out in the open because the question is not, you know, about Kanimozhi particularly, but it is forcing us to really talk about it and so reflect on the state of our prisons. Prisons are some of the most unsafe places for women to be in.
Right.
And hygiene conditions, nutrition conditions.
There are more than 50 infants in Tihar jail.
Right. The irony, of course, is that this doesn't apply in Kanimozhi's case, but the debate may bring those issues up. But let me bring you in on this, Madhu Kishwar. Your view on whether special treatment should be given to Kanimozhi because she's a woman, or are you saying, is there an underlying bias? That are we saying give special treatment because she is Kanimozhi?
Absolutely. I'm really shocked by this debate. Because for years and decades, we have seen women being taken to jail very unceremoniously. We have seen, for example, brothels and so-called call centers being raided and women being dragged in the most demeaning manner to jail, whether they are real or suspected call girls, and the manner in which they are exposed on TV. And why are we talking about hygienic conditions only for Kanimozhi? Why is it that we don't talk about all prisoners? And actually, I think the very fact that these VIP prisoners are landing in our prisons in hordes might actually
do you feel there is an unfair sympathy factor? Do you feel that when you see politicians giving messages, or do you feel this unease about her going to jail? Do you feel this is actually because of who she is rather than her gender?
No, I think it's because, I think we do relate because it is her gender. We're not looking at Kanimozhi as a politician's daughter or a politician in her own right.
I think we have to have an element. Justice has to be there, but it must be tempered with mercy.
NDTV's cricket app, Android and iPhone. Fastest scorecard, special analysis, and much more. Download free. ndtv.com/apps.